Thanks everybody for coming. How are you this morning?
Wow. We had a little bit of pressure there with the countdown timer clicking down.
I know. Having to launch right at the precise second is a bit almost too much.
It's a bit stressful, but we did it. And so it's great to be here this morning. Don, I've been looking forward to this for a long, long time, almost a year.
Yeah, I know.
We should get a clock going now.
It's great to finally release it. So what's with this title we have here?
A few of our favorite things. Well, besides us breaking into song at some point later on, perhaps, this is really a summary. There's so many great things about FME 2013 that it's hard to compress them all down into 15 minutes.
That's right. So we decided to not go with what's great.
No.
Because,
there's just too much.
Too much. Yeah.
There's too much that's great. So for those that don't know or are tuning in for the first time, my name is Dale Lutz. I'm one of the original developers and co-founders here at SAFE.
And my name's Don Murray, and I'm the other original developer.
And Don, I did install a barrier so that you're not going to get caught by that.
And so it's just going to reflect around there.
I
appreciate that. I appreciate that.
That's right. We have our very serious artwork that we use for ourselves this time around. And we're joined today, I think they're somewhere in the building. Have you seen them?
I have not actually seen them, but I'm sure they're here somewhere in the building.
So please ask a question and we'll find out if they're actually there.
That's right.
It's not like in the old days, say FME 2012, Mark Stokes would have been down here with some freshly baked muffins.
I know, he used to come with muffins, and I don't know what.
Ever since that time when you talked about lard.
Yeah, I think I should have. I'm really kicking myself for that. So.
But anyway, thanks Mark and Laura. They're there to answer your questions, and please keep them busy. I think they're going to come down the hall and reveal themselves here and join us near the end.
Yep, and if you ever do see Mark Stokes on the road, make sure you ask him about what's up with that poodle.
Okay.
And he will know what you're talking about.
All right. We'll look forward to that. Okay. So, Don, I think you're the poll master.
We're going to do poll master here.
It's a flash poll. It's kind of like a flash mob, but a little less disruptive.
Well, it's better than a flash flood.
Yes.
So the first one is, what version of FME are you currently using? And I'm going to launch that poll.
Okay, there it goes. So the polling is underway.
Yeah. And look at that. The poll questions are coming in. Wow, more than 50% have voted here.
See, people are allowed to say more than one, because I know that there's folks out there that run several versions.
That's right. So we'll give them another few seconds here. So, it looks like a lot of people are using FME 2012.
Well, that's not a bad thing to do.
That's not a bad thing to do.
Really, that's
today, but tomorrow, really.
Until a few seconds ago, that was the current release. So,
okay, should we close this and reveal the...
Yes, let's reveal all.
Let's reveal all. Okay, share results. And there they are. So 64% of you are using FME 2012.
And 13% of you aren't using FME at all. And so thanks very much for tuning in today. And maybe some of you will decide, hey, maybe this FME thing is worth trying out. But do thank you all. And some of you are still on older than FME 2010, but I'm glad to see not too many.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow, they're in for a real treat, those people, when they update.
Holy smokes, it's going to be like a whole new... They haven't even used FME, really.
Right, there's not just a few favorite things that they're going to have when they upgrade. Right. So, as Don hinted at, there's just a lot of goodness in this FME.
Yeah,
by our count, there was 741 items that were worthy of being in the kind of highlights or the update bulletin.
Yeah, candidates for what's great.
Yes, that's right. So that, I think, Roger...
It is like drinking out of a fire hose. So if we gave every item some time, how much time would each item get?
I'm told, I did not verify this, but I'm told by my marketing staff that there's 5 seconds per item.
Wow, we would have to talk really fast.
And Don and I can talk fast. We're talk as fast as the next guy, but even that might be too much for us.
Yeah.
So instead, we're just picking a few of our favorite things. This is a Wordle of these things.
We're picking a few of our favorite things.
Stephanie, did we get the deep bass there? Our recording technician was concerned about that. So this is the Wordle. It looks like actually a lot of the things are about Workbench, and that's good news because most of you / all of you probably use that thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna make one small observation here.
Yes.
I think there's been a lot of these things are actually XML.
Yeah.
So if you look at you look at AIXM5, and you look at City GML, and you look at GML, and you look at XML
arguably
template,
KML.
I mean, really, I think it's a case might be a case here, and I have people investigating that it might be divide and conquer, actually.
Right.
Just
so you think that if, let's say, there's a bit of vote splitting going on.
I think there might be a bit of vote splitting.
And then really XML could
XML, if all those things were lumped into XML,
yes.
I think, XML would have
You
been.
could see a totally different word graph.
Would, yeah, my Wordle would look different.
Yes. For those that
I'm in
aren't,
my own little Wordle.
Yeah, that's right. Don lives in an XML Wordle, and he sees everything through XML tinted glasses.
That's right.
But anyway, this is a pictorial thing, and there's just so much in here. We don't even talk anything about CAD today.
No, I know.
And I was talking to a CAD team and apologizing for that, but a lot of changes on the CAD side.
There's just so much.
Yeah. So there's actually some vote splitting on the CAD side too.
It looks a lot like vote splitting there too.
Anyway, let's carry on. Geodatabase, of course. I don't even talk about that either. And
I know.
Huge.
And SDE 3.0. Wow.
Yeah. There's always things to do there.
Yeah.
All right. So first thing is the most important, of course, is
splash screen. And this was this is probably 10 of the 741.
Yes.
And so there you go. We have our friend the lizard, so he's back and.
He's on Mars.
That's where they are. Okay, I was going to ask what
the Martian
planet that
it
are
is
they
the
on?
Martian
I'm
planet.
glad they brought their satellite dish for TV or FME updates or whatever.
That's right. They can download. That's how they get their internet feed. But he's got a zip extractor, and that's we made a whole robot about this. He's called Zipster.
Zipster.
Yeah, and he's down there. He's got that FME logo emblazoned.
We actually have the 3D model for Zipster too.
Yes.
So anyway.
And so once in a while, another splash screen will show its face.
Yeah.
I've actually seen these, so far.
Yeah.
And so that's
it's a bit shocking when they come up.
Yes. And this is the earlier in the launch sequence, the one over Earth.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's all about launch today, and that's it. So here's something that we pride ourselves on, is that we try very hard to make sure that every FME is faster than every other.
Yeah, and this one again is, so I don't know if this has been 4 or 5, 6 releases where every release is faster.
Yes.
And you can see all the tests there, so we track absolutely everything. So right now there's 4,500 tests.
Yeah.
And Dale's going to show, and FME Server too. What we're showing on FME Server there is we're really focusing on FME Server being able to roll over jobs much quicker. So you can see that you're going to see a 23% if you have very small jobs, just screaming right along there.
We actually dug into these long tests, and it turns out there's a handful of tests that are just like outrageously faster.
Yeah, and you're going to reveal.
I'm going to reveal one. So here's actually the overall performance build by build, and I think going up on the graph is actually good.
Yeah.
So that at first I was worried about that, but it's actually higher is better. That's the more performance gain.
And there's breaks in the graph, which.
Well, that's because our data technicians didn't fill in the graph. But the main thing is it's higher. Now there we go. That's the app. This is sort of fudging the numbers a little bit, but this was the one test. There's one test which is 642 times faster than before, and it was a dissolve test actually.
That's right. So it went from 18 minutes to
like whatever
seconds,
that is.
642 times.
Yeah. So
but the goal was 650, so they actually missed their goal.
They fell short.
Yeah.
But anyway, different things will be dramatically faster. One thing that we didn't talk about actually, overall raster, many raster things are about doubled.
Yeah. LiDAR, how about LiDAR?
I don't know if it would have been slightly faster. I don't know if there was big wins there.
XML was faster.
Yes.
Yeah, we made some big wins in XML.
So bottom line, as always, we work hard to make things faster.
Yeah.
Yay! Woo! We're a spontaneous wave here.
Just
broke out. Yeah. So we're excited about that. So on the format side, video is not in here yet.
Not yet.
But just about everything else you can think of.
That's right.
And so formats by release, here's the graph.
We broke the 300.
Smashed through the mythical 300 barrier.
I tell you.
So there's always more formats. Here's a quick list. I did sort these, Don.
You sorted them alphabetically?
I did, since the last time we presented this. So our friends, there's some point cloud ones, Rigel, E57. Don, if you had to pick a favorite, this is a favorite things, what would be your favorite thing here?
Oh, maybe Salesforce. Salesforce is kind of an exciting one.
Yes, it allows us to start working with more enterprise data. I got some customers that want to read that data and then geocode it and do things with it. I think we do that here at Safe.
We do.
We're eating our own dog food there. If I was going to pick one, it might be Spatial Light.
Yeah.
It's a nice little self-contained database that can hold spatial.
Yeah,
and
well,
it's light.
That's good.
So
And it's very light. Yeah.
There's some fun GML ones.
Yeah, Kunta GML is my favorite, just by the name only, really.
It's something to do with Roots.
Yeah, the movie Roots.
You have to be at least my age or older
that's right.
to know what we're referring to there.
Yeah.
If anybody knows that is, they should type it in right now,
That's
because I don't know if Mark Stokes knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, he probably
and
does.
Laura doesn't for sure.
Laura has no idea what she thinks it might be some sort of vegetable.
She thinks it's some kind of Canadian store that sells jackets for
That's
Olympic
right.
things.
There you go. There you go.
So on the Transformer side, there's actually a lot of work went on behind the scenes on the UI of many Transformers. In fact, the UI overall got a lot of updates.
Yeah, and there's some Transformers that change so much
They
that
should be on this
they're
list.
almost new.
Yeah, like raster expression evaluator isn't on here, but you won't
and
recognize.
shortest path.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're going to pick a favorite one here, Don.
Well, you know how I think, right? The JSON family really is my favorite.
So you're going to go with all three.
I'm going to go for the JSON
Trinity
family.
of
the
JSON.
Trinity of JSON.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I might go like I'm a big fan. I mean, map text is worth about 8 slides on its own, so it gets them later on.
It's a whole webinar.
But yeah, in March, the good thing, we're doing a webinar on map text. Keep that in the back of your mind. But I think my favorite was the point cloud expression evaluator, and I'm really excited to see what people are going to do with that.
Yay!
Okay. So on the desktop side, let's look at some highlights. Well, the whole user interface got a bit of a touch-up.
Yep.
So quite a lot of work went on there. In fact, in some respects, it's completely rewritten.
It is. It is.
So,
I mean, it looks better. The icons have been completely refreshed.
So I don't know. Should we take a quick peek at it?
Absolutely.
Hello. Okay,
there we
there it
go.
is. So one thing I like, one of my favorite things is the new zoom control.
Yeah.
So that's up there. Double click in there at any time, gets you to 100%.
Yeah.
So I like that thing.
Yeah.
And let's see what else we had here. So, right.
Yeah. Ultimately, the goal is we got to get off the Windows platform.
Well, we'll stay on it, but not just exclusively.
Not exclusively.
Right.
Exactly.
We don't want to commit to one thing.
That's exactly.
So we actually have this is the only time that we're going to talk about this.
That's right. So far.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll say something about FME 2014, which actually is able to run in limited fashion already on these two platforms.
And it has been seen at SAFE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, if there's folks out there right now on your questions, things fire in that you might be interested in trying Workbench out on the Mac or Linux.
Or Linux, yeah.
Sometime during the next year, we're going to be letting people that are brave.
Try
and
it.
you do need to be a little brave.
You do need to be.
You'll get to try it. Okay, the Smart Delete. What is that about, Don?
Oh, go back to your workspace and we can show it live. This is awesome.
So what do I do?
Let's say you said I don't want that deaggregator.
Okay,
there.
I highlighted it.
Yeah, and now you just hit your delete key.
Wow.
Look at that. You no longer need to connect the things, and the link is highlighted.
So in other words, if I want the old behavior, I want that link gone,
yeah.
I could just hit delete again.
That's right.
You can't see that at home, folks, but I hit the delete key twice there,
That's right.
all told.
So
I'll go back again. But
And
now
delete.
if I do this once,
Yeah, and what if you wanted to replace the deaggregator with something else?
well, see, one thing is that the new line that was put in is green to give you a clue that that's a new thing.
That something happened.
But it is selected, as Don says, and so if I type in, let's say I want to do a buffer at this point.
Yeah.
I'll go for buffer, please.
Just puts it right in there.
So replacing a transformer, you delete and type, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
That is.
And then you hit enter again. What happens?
Okay. Oh,
look at that.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, did you notice one other thing? If I let's roll that. Let's go all the way back in time.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm here.
Yeah.
I do this. I type in the buffer.
Yeah.
Got it. It's in.
Hit it again.
Hit it again will bring up the things.
Yeah.
If I do Control Z here.
Yeah.
Undo. It doesn't. It as if I didn't want it to go in there. I didn't know it did that. I just found that out. So if you don't like that it inserts it for some reason, if that makes you mad, you can just hit Control Z.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
All right.
all
So that's good on that, I think.
Yeah.
So does this have a fancy thing?
Yeah, this just has a fancy build, so when people get
Delete this.
Look at this. And
there goes away, and the green line is there, and it's selected.
Yeah. No. Now the reason we did the green line is sometimes you might delete something, in a massive in a massive workspace, and then so what we do is we zoom out to show the whole green line.
Right.
So it's not a surprise.
In the early usability testing in very complex workspaces, you might not know all the green lines that you created.
Yeah.
So we make sure that now you do.
Yeah.
So the data inspector, it's growing up.
Yeah.
And this probably is the release where if you haven't used it, you probably want to.
Yeah, and we need to be clear that we're not talking about the FME Universal Viewer here.
No.
We're talking about the data inspector. So the data inspector now has table view. So you're going to show that?
I'll try to.
Okay, so I think you have a data set.
I was looking here earlier. at some different parts of Africa, and I look down at the bottom, and wow, there's a bunch of cool things.
Yeah.
So,
there it is there.
Yes.
So what if you have non-spatial data?
Well, I think maybe I didn't actually rehearse this.
That's okay.
But
There's one called.
which one is this? There's an attribute data set here. Something about Microsoft Access. Let's try that.
Oh wow, you're a wild man.
I know.
Look
And
at
there
that.
it is. And so I can hit this table icon if I want the table up in there.
Yeah.
And
And now
there
you
it
can,
is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there we
yeah,
go.
yeah,
And let's see
there.
this again. There we go. And so now I can start to see data in its fine glory. And actually, let me do one more here just to let people can see. This is where it all began really for SAFE. This is a data set from the beginning of time.
Yeah.
And now I'm
Forest coverage.
Forest cover. So I need to view my table view thing here. Oh, there it comes. All right, good. And let's see. If I click around on here, let's just find someplace. Come on, baby. Find me. There we go.
It is, yeah.
So I can see that it's selected one. I can zoom to the selected one, and there it is. And who knows where its neighbor is. Oh, I can always zoom to the selected one, I guess.
Yeah.
And it all works.
Yep.
So
Fantastic.
that's
So that's a big deal.
Yes.
That's a big deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so table view. The data inspector is still second fiddle in FME, so you do have to turn it on. Actually, I should show folks where that is because they may not know.
That's right.
If you
So go to
into here,
Workbench.
tools, something about options.
Options there. Yeah.
And something about Workbench, maybe?
Yep. Yeah.
Down in there. Yeah, there it is. Down at the bottom. And that's where it is. And so
Excellent.
that's good. Okay, it's in that dialogue.
There we go.
We did that demo.
We did that
Yes.
demo. Yeah.
Yay! Okay, I'm glad that's over. All right. Oh, this one. What am I
I
gonna
think
do?
your cheers need to be a little bit more enthusiastic.
I'm a little muted,
You're-
subdued here.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
It's driving on these icy roads.
You're shy.
I am. Okay, so Zipster says, go ahead, make my data. We can directly read from HTTP places.
I'm very excited about this. This is a big deal.
So if I go, so the claim is if I go to Vancouver's Open
Yeah.
Data.
Yeah. So whoa, just back up a little bit.
Okay.
Because I'm just so excited about this one.
Yeah.
So in the past, when you want to read data from a public source, you'd have to download
Yes.
it. And there was no way to build a workspace that could actually just go there, right?
Downloading is so 2012
Yeah,
done.
it was so 2012.
Yes.
And so now you can actually build your workspace. Dale's gonna pick his favorite thing, one of his favorite things.
Okay.
And now you can build your workspace to actually point right to that public data store.
Yes.
And it's gonna be downloaded, unzipped, read, and
So let's just try. I'll go really wild here. So that's Esri's shape, and I'm going to paste in. Let's just,
just go to the front there, and
Let's
it does
roll it to the
HTTP,
front.
and it does FTP.
right. So this could be an HTTP or FTP.
FTP, yeah.
And it's some zip file. Now I did have to say it was shape because
Yeah,
give
that's
it a
right. Yeah,
little
well,
hand.
hopefully you should know that. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to try this.
Yeah, and it just happens.
Wow.
I mean, wow.
That's a lot of graffiti there.
I think that's even faster than downloading it.
It feels like it. It feels like it.
And of course, if you used Workbench, you would see just what you want to see. You're going to see the shape, the graffiti shaped data
Yes.
type with all its attributes.
And basically every time you ran, we would pull it
it would
down.
pull it down.
Yes, if it's changing.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
that's a lot of graffiti in Vancouver. It seems to follow the SkyTrain
It
line
seems
right
to
here.
follow the SkyTrain lines.
But
yeah.
anyway, so that is pretty slick.
That is very slick.
And
yeah.
one other thing that is slick is that.
And that's how we came up with the guy Zipster,
Right.
because we really have that little robot guy. He's in the background making it all happen.
Right. You can also read zip files, of course, that are local on your disk.
Exactly.
You don't
but that's
have
not
to.
nearly as exciting.
Well, this is more exciting. And FTP is even the most exciting.
It is the most exciting for us
Okay.
old guys.
Yes. So there is also the chance to hit this zip button when
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
writing, and so
Yeah.
then when you're writing, you can write to anything, put .zip on the
Yeah.
end, and we'll
Yeah.
just zip her
Yeah.
up for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you know what my friend Ulf has said, and I'm not sure if you're tuned in right now, Ulf, but it was a great observation. But Ulf said this is going to change the way he uses shapefiles
Yes.
because he'll never write them without zipping them.
It might even change the way I use file geodatabase.
Yes.
Because now I can just zip up that whole directory.
And as long as you're within an FME universe,
you're good.
it will read it as well. So
And we are within an FME universe.
We're solidly. This is like the center of the FME universe right here.
That's
so
right.
there's
That's
a
right.
whole lot of
That's
zipping
right.
going on.
That's right. Can I say one more thing about the HTTP thing?
Yes, you can.
This works great with Dropbox now.
Right.
You know, because Dropbox gives you a nice URL,
Yes.
HTTP, and now you could have a job that pushes it to Dropbox, and everybody else who
Just can pick it up.
And you,
No, it's
you
know, Mark Ireland identified it as one of the killer features.
Yeah.
And I really think it is too.
That's right.
So that's that. Yeah. An extended one today for that one. Okay. Geometry validation. Well, that's kind of an interesting thing.
Yeah. Validation is one key thing that people use our technology for.
Right.
So we spent a lot of time on
Yes. And so this is basically an all singing and dancing new thing. Actually, if I go out to Workbench, let's just try. Let's make a brand new workspace here. Let's just
look at him.
No, whoops.
Sorry, I just got excited there.
I don't want to save changes, and I don't want to do this either. I just want to go blank.
Yeah.
But if I type the word fix.
Now,
or fixer up.
Now you got to watch this very closely, folks.
Fix geometry.
Yeah. Now look at that.
Press tab. It tells me I could press tab. Oh, and I got to say this. There we go, fixed geometry.
Yeah.
And I see that there's a geometry validator there.
So when you hit tab, what does it search? The original one just searches the transformer name.
Yep.
And the second one is searching all the descriptions, help.
all the help.
All the
so
help.
you can tab back and forth.
Yeah,
That's the thing, and this is so you can kind of see there's a little bit.
So if you typed XML, for example, it would come up.
I think there's just so much, it's hard
and then, I mean, look at it. It's just
and then here's all the help.
Those are they're
the
help, and you can just see that really everything has XML behind it.
Everybody wants to talk about XML.
That's right.
Like.
It's just.
Wow, I wonder what Geneo XML. I don't know what that is.
That's a downloadable one from the store. That's the
what does that do?
That's a reader that enables us to connect in with the virtual reality stuff.
Oh, okay.
Augmented reality. That's
Unreal.
Yeah, and it's in the store, so it's even searching the store descriptions.
That's true.
That's freaky.
We didn't even practice that.
We didn't even practice.
So
that.
anyway,
all good things come when you type XML.
Why did I do this? Oh, it was about the geometry validator. I thought I forgot. We actually typed GV. The friends of it call it the GV.
Yes.
Hi,
it even has its own logo.
It has a logo here at Safe. One of the only transformers to have its own logo.
I know.
And it's worthy of it because look at all the things it can do.
That's
the
right.
nice thing is you can go in here and say, look, I just want to do OGC stuff.
Yeah,
and then the OGC guys, they're turned.
And it tells you whether the things are repairable or not. And
there's no repairing the OGC stuff, but you can attempt repair on all the rest of the stuff. These are kind of interesting. If you have surfaces, that's not turned on, so I can't get to its properties, but there we go.
Yeah.
You can try to flatten out those surfaces, I guess. Looking for infinity and beyond.
And self-intersections is interesting in 2D because that's the one that you'll want to be aware of. When you click there, it doesn't have... What was the one that talked about Z?
I think it's this one.
Yes, that's the one. There you go. Because sometimes when you're moving consecutive points, you want to consider Z. Other times you don't, depending on what you're doing.
Right. That's so it's a very powerful thing. And if you're doing 3D, actually, we should also give a little more play to some of these 3D related things. The vertex normals, planar surfaces, solid boundaries, and these are guys that say that they're solid and there's a rip in them, so they wouldn't hold water.
They would be leaky.
We can sew them up. Yeah. So it's very exciting. I think it's exciting.
I think so too.
Okay. What else?
And then just showing that there's two modes, detection or repair. Sometimes you may just want to detect the problems. You don't want auto repair. So, and if there's multiple problems, it'll also flag those.
Yes, but also it's worth saying that if you are trying to repair, we may not be able to.
That's correct.
And so then we'll fail that. If we can repair, we will.
Yeah.
So there it is.
Yeah. And the issue reporting, it just doesn't come out fixed. It just doesn't say, it failed. It tells you exactly where it failed.
Right.
And where it was repaired and all those good things.
Yay! I'm excited about that one. I didn't raise my hands, though. I should have.
I always raise my hand.
Okay, the map text labeler. Well, this is an interesting extra cost item that lets you, our friends at MapText worked with Safe to put this into FME. Safe and our resellers can resell this thing to you. And basically it brings the power of the MapText label engine into FME. People have been asking for this for like 10 years probably. Yeah. So it's finally done and very, very powerful and very, very cool. All that can be done. And I just got a set of things here to flip through. The thing is that every format basically has its own
way of doing text.
Right. And so inside of this thing, you get a chance to give it a hint. Hey, I'm going to AutoCAD. And then it will just adjust things. So here's a number of labels that Dimitri set up, labeling examples. This one's going to AutoCAD, Vancouver somewhere.
Yeah.
Here we are in ArcGIS.
Yeah.
Here we are in MapInfo.
Yeah.
And here we are.
GeoMedia.
Right.
And last but not least is Oh, no.
No, we
There's
got
one
next
more after that.
MicroState does a fine job of MicroStation. There's another one, which is good old-fashioned just rasterizing. So this is using the FME text stroker downstream.
So you'd be able to use this to make really nice pyramided rasters for map tiling solutions.
Yeah, it is very, very, very powerful. I'll just we do still have, I think, the labels of the world here to show this is what came out of that thing. And let me just get rid of the this so we can see. Let's look at the whole world. There it all is, and it's even got a legend for the countries that are too small. So here's because when you combine the power of FME in with this thing, it's all kinds of cool stuff starts to happen. So let's take a look in the neighborhood of Greece here. Greece is what do you say, archipelago or something?
That sounds. I understand.
I've read it, but I've never said it. Nor have I heard anybody say it.
Archipelago.
Okay, I'm going with that.
Archipelago.
So what Dimitri does in the workspace is say to FME, hey, if you have one of those things, and he can detect that, then use the amalgamator, which basically builds a larger polygon, and label that.
Yeah, another great example would be Indonesia, which is just a bunch of, I shouldn't say just a bunch of islands.
It's a fine bunch of islands.
It's a huge area.
Like that.
Yeah, and so how do you label that? So again, that's what it did, eh?
See, is that the Philippines right above it there?
Yeah, it is.
And so I think the same thing went on there too.
That's
for
right.
Those Philippines. So
there
we go. So and then you see these little tiny fellas.
Yeah.
They get their own little
number
on the side.
Line.
All of that done inside of this workspace. Well, not this workspace, but let's go back here. It's all done. This is the world labels.
Yeah.
No, I won't save. It's all done inside of here. And again, I'll double click here to get to 100%. And somewhere in here is the map text labeler. Actually, I think there's two of them in this one because he generates labels for big guys and for small guys separately.
Yeah, and average guys. Look at that.
And so here we go, big, average, and small. And I just wanted to show when you're working on this thing, you hit the configure button. Now you get into the map text universe where you start to define rules and things like that about allowing overlapping and all that sort of stuff.
They've really done a good job on this.
Yeah, it's very powerful. So we know we've got some great examples, and we're going to do a whole webinar on this thing come March, but it is definitely a powerful new addition.
And it's definitely one of the great things.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to show on this thing, in here is where you say to this thing that you do have some control on what format you're targeting.
That's right.
So that's how you do that.
Yeah.
So there we go. Well, that is exciting.
That's
Yay! Okay. Thanks, Rishi and all the team from MapText. You did a great job.
Yeah. I should have worn my black shoes that day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Boy,
they jump right out at you.
Okay.
Well, you could use the point cloud expression evaluator to recolor
I'll get Dimitri to recolor them.
Because that's what he did here. Basically, this is I like this one, so I'm going to quickly show this. Let's let me see. I think it's in here. The PC. Oops. Come on. PCE
flood demo. Dean would like this one too. Dean likes anything. Dean hints he likes anything that deals with flooding.
He's really the master of disaster. So while it's running, I'll just pop this up and show that this thing allows you to change any of the components within a point cloud to. Let me see what it's doing. Okay, it's coming there.
Yeah.
It lets you change them to a calculated value.
Yeah.
And you get a whole expression editor. There's if then else, or you can just do math based on the various. You can drag these babies out there like this, and now that's the symbol for the green part of the color.
Yeah.
So very powerful. I don't want to save the changes.
That's right.
And I'll cancel this, and I'll go out here and take a peek. There it is. And so in this case, what Dimitri's done is he's made all the points that are below some elevation threshold a different color. So if I turn off that, you can see how it's
he's showing where it would flood. Yeah.
So there they come in, and
and just to be clear, if you're using the universal viewer, you wouldn't see anything here, really.
No, it wouldn't be very good.
No.
So that's that exciting thing that I put the original back on top. It's just taken a while to. There it goes, and if
a lot of data.
There we go. You can see.
Yeah.
So that's just altering by, but there's all kinds of things that this thing can do, and it's very, very fast because it operates basically at a very efficient level on every single point of the. Actually, that example that we just ran, how many billion points was it anyway? It would say here. Yeah. Somewhere, I forgot. Well, anyway, it's I think there we go. Well, it's not a billion. It's only 3.5 million.
Oh, only.
Right, and so it did that whole thing in 8 seconds.
Yeah.
It felt longer. As you're talking about it, it does feel longer. So,
Yay!
yay! I'm sorry, I'm rattled. Okay. Okay, here's where Don starts to take over.
And this is so easy this year. We're going to have Dale go through. But one thing we work on in every release is making XML easier. And this year, JSON is our other format we love. So we're also working on making JSON as easy as XML. So what we're going to do today is we're going to have Dale read a JSON file he's never seen before.
Yikes.
Okay.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. So you need a workspace.
I'm gonna shut everything down because I'm starting
so we need
from
a blank workspace here.
Okay, a blank workspace coming up.
And then and once you have that up, drop down your favorite reader, which is the text file reader.
I'm gonna drag it in there. Maybe is it coming from data?
Yeah, it should be coming from data. There's something called JSON data.txt. Yeah, that'll work.
So I'll just
drag that in there.
Drag her all over here.
Yeah, and just pick.
Oh,
look at now parameters.
You
just want to say whole file at once for a JSON.
Just slurp it all up.
Just slurp it all up. Yep. Say yes there. Okay, you're good. And now just route that puppy to the logger.
To the logger.
To the logger. And make your log window a little bigger because with XML you like that log file.
Yeah.
Okay. Now just click run and.
Okay, so I've got that. I'm gonna hit run.
Yeah.
Oh
no!
Something's wrong there, Don.
Did you click run?
I don't know. I thought I did, but
okay. Click
did you see this?
I did not see anything.
I didn't see the log window roll by.
No, either did I. Click that again.
Harbinder, are you there?
Well, I think we have a big problem here.
Oh.
I didn't see anything.
Well, what we're hamming it up here about is that the log window is a lot faster.
It's like way faster. It's like that took 0.2 seconds. So
we've
actually had we actually had some bug reports on this because people were convinced that FME wasn't running.
Or they thought we should have it slow down.
Yeah, exactly.
They wanted to speed read.
So now running within Workbench is. The
log is just super fast.
Yeah. So you can see the text line data. We don't have any JSON yet. We just have this text line blob there. You can see it under text line data. Okay, so now we're going to get you to parse this JSON. Okay.
Really?
Yeah. So just in the middle of there, just type JSON flattener.
I'll take the JSON flattener.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just open that guy up and just pick the attribute.
There's only one to choose
and just
from.
say, okay, that's it. That's all you do.
Really?
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how nested it is, what you got going on there. Now run that puppy again, and we'll have to watch the log window really carefully. Okay. Uh-oh. It didn't...
So what happened?
Okay,
somebody just text messaged us.
Yeah, that's right. Uh-oh. It's that Jason Birch guy.
What is he saying? Okay.
He wants a special email address. jason@safe.com. So that could happen.
Funny.
And so now if you look at the log, you'll see the...
watch what happens. I'm going to make the transformer named after him.
Okay.
I think this might work. I don't know. Anyway, what was I supposed to do, Don?
Oh, yeah. Now you see you have the attributes there, right? FNS, op, so it parsed the entire JSON. So now...
Yes.
And you don't even, so you don't even know how... So how easy is that? That's just like falling off. So what are you doing with this JSON?
I put it in the wrong place. I think if I do... it didn't let me do that either. I wanted to do it in the message here.
Right.
Because I wanted to show Jason that if he had an email address...
That's right. Yeah, look at this.
Does this work? I actually didn't try this.
Well, we're off-roading like we always do.
Let's see. Yes!
Look at that.
It's
so now
highlighted.
You can
if I did that, I would...
Yep, just click on it.
I don't know. I don't have email on this computer.
Okay.
Bad things might happen.
Bad things might happen. That's
It'll make me sign up for some sort of...
Right. And that's another great point. Anytime there's an HTTP link or something in our help...
JSON, if we just did this...
You can just go HTTP:/... And by the way, we have decided we're going to rename the company. It's no longer safe.com. But we don't have to change the spelling.
Yeah.
It's Safe to rhyme with cafe.
It's
yeah.
Okay. Hey.
Look at that.
Oh wow.
Oh!
I haven't seen this before.
I haven't seen this before either. So that's the new front page. That's awesome.
It's in your face.
I tell you. And what that enables us to do now is within our error messages. Now we can put links to FME PD articles, to things like that that give you much more value.
We don't even have a slide on that, but that really is one of our favorite
That was definitely one of the 741.
Thanks, Jason, for
bringing that up.
That
That's awesome.
All right.
Okay.
He's buzzing us again.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, we'll get to him in a second. So yeah, we did this, I think.
You did that. And you didn't even... Okay, XML writing. So now we can write... so there's a workspace. You're going to demo this again, Dale.
Really?
Yeah. So there's a workspace on this one. And now what we've done is we've made it very easy to write XML geometries using XML. So if you look at the XML templater in this one, you're going to see that here we're writing provinces, and now we have these things called geometry templates. So if you
Right.
open the province template there,
Yes.
just click there, and you see basically we grab the attributes from the features that are going across, and then we say, hey, for the geometries, if they're an aggregate, a collection, call the aggregate template, and if they're a
there we go.
donut, that's right, call the donut one. So then we could look at the aggregate subtemplate.
Yep.
Scroll that puppy down there.
There it
Yep. And you're going to see he's very simple. He just says, hey, process the parts, and if they're donut or polygon, do them slightly different. And remember these tags, and so you can just go right to the polygon one there.
Okay.
Yeah, so polygon again, just process the
That's a
line.
This
And
is like
then
the old lady who
and
swallowed a fly.
It is. It's all going back to the old lady who swallowed a fly. And there you
here's
go.
The points.
And then finally,
Finally,
you get to the point, and we're gonna grab the.
we finally got to the point.
Yeah, we are finally got to the point. That's
Okay,
right.
so and then this is how. So basically, we could invent our own geometry format now.
That's right, like everybody else.
Yeah. So I think I would want to put like a comma between them, so I
You
can just
could
do
do
that.
whatever you want. You can do
And
whatever.
I can do whatever I want.
That's right.
Okay.
You can. Yeah.
That.
Sure.
And if I did that, now
Yeah.
I've invented my own thing.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right. So.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So do you have the output there somewhere?
I think so. If I say open containing folder.
Oh, I like that trick. And there's the.
That was it,
That
right?
was it. Yeah. So you
I,
can double click
should I
that.
try running IE?
Sure. And you can see, remember those tags.
I
You
don't
see all the tags we had there.
I don't
And,
want to make it my
You
default.
know,
Okay.
if you
All
do,
right.
I might have to storm out.
But here we go.
Yeah. And there's, so it's as easy as that. In the past, and this, I picked this data set not just because it's Canada, but
Okay.
because there's aggregates and non-aggregates depending on the province and things like that. So
And
there you go.
Yeah, it's good.
And it's really simple. Yeah.
Good. Well, hey, that's good.
Yeah.
So-
So now back to our. Yeah.
XML writing.
Yeah.
We did the demo.
We did the demo.
Yay!
Yay!
Wow.
Woo!
There's a bunch of us. that are
Oh,
excited.
everybody's going crazy here at Safe. It's a wave, big time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're done on desktop. I mean, just
Yeah.
in summary, lots of things there.
Oh,
We're
huge.
only skimming the surface of it.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. So download it, try it. Mark Ireland's, there's articles on what's new. There's videos on
Yes.
the FME channel showing some new things.
We're gonna have
There's
links
lots-
at the end.
Yeah, links on some stuff. Yeah.
But we're very pleased with it. It's
It's-
come a long way.
Yeah, it really has. On the server side, so we improved the installer yet again. We made it easier to add engines to an Express install, things like that. So again, most people pick Express and away they go. So you're up and running in 5 minutes. The big thing though is the all new web interface. And now, if Dale logs on
Should
here,
I do that?
Absolutely. And
Who do I go to? Is it this guy?
that's the guy. And you can use my account there. Uh-oh. Well, you never know.
There we go.
Okay.
It looks like I've been here
Oh,
before.
looks like you've been there before and you saved my password. That was convenient. Okay, so right from the start, you can see how it looks. It looks better. If you click on things like repositories, which is where everything's stored, again, you're going to see a much better view, and you can see if you double click on something.
I always like going into Ken Bragg stuff.
Yeah, dummy and dummy FDS.
Dummy and dummier.
Yes, dummy and dummier.
Okay.
And the notifications, this is the whole event technology. You can see it's much better.
we can actually we have graphic there.
Yeah, to explain what side's the
amazing.
publication, what side's the subscription. You can click on the topics, and there's all the topics. And the subscriptions, all the different subscriptions that are there.
Really, this is for architecting more interesting systems.
Yeah, and the job
React.
queue, everything's just so much better. Yeah,
Oh, it looks like somebody was doing stuff on there.
Yeah, there's some failures going on there, and
Fusion stuff.
yeah.
Oh, lots of interesting stuff.
That's right.
And there's probably security to look at.
Security is much better too. Yeah. So you look at permissions, for example, and you can see who buys. So you can pick a role. So you could pick like tutorial.
Guest shouldn't have too much.
Shouldn't have too much. Yeah. So
So-
just a much better. And there's only one user interface
Yeah.
now. There's not 2 or 3. So.
Right.
So, and depending on the credentials of the user, he sees different things. So it's
It's all pretty cool.
yeah, it's much better.
Right.
So there we go. So
Okay, that's awesome.
yeah. So,
So for those that don't know about FME Server, it just the one sentence introduction is that it lets you take the workspaces, the fine configurations you've built on a desktop, push them up very simply and easily up into a centralized environment where others can then run them either from a web URL through a form or through some kind of schedule, very common, or in reaction to events like email arriving, files showing up in a directory, all this stuff. So it's for automating and centralizing data transformation.
That's right. And we're going to see here shortly it has some of the things it can do. Yeah, another thing we did was job routing. So now you could, if you had a big server, you could dedicate certain engines to certain users or departments so that one user or department can hog the whole server. It's also great if you have third-party licenses for certain engines. So you might have, maybe you have ArcGIS on one. Yeah, and so all the jobs that
or you need to produce PDF, which can only be done on Windows right now. And the rest of the stuff is on Linux.
On Linux, that's right. And
so this is how this works. So these are all these guys wearing ties.
They're not as
clients.
Safe. That's right.
And they send stuff in, and if their jobs are tagged in certain ways.
Yeah, so you can associate whole repositories to tags, and then they always.
So you'd put your PDF things in one repository.
Yeah, you could do that.
And then they would be guaranteed to run on these two engines, which are known to work with PDF.
That's right. Or you can specify at runtime. So from the scheduler, you could also do that too.
So I could also say that one repository is for the jobs that take 6 hours.
Yeah.
And then that'll just go to this engine over here, for example.
That's right. Yeah.
That's very cool.
It is.
I finally understand this now too. That's good. Yay! I really am. That was honest. I was excited by that.
Well, the XML one was honest, wasn't it?
It was really sort of.
And this just shows some of the things we can interface with. So you can see email there, obviously. JMS, which is the Java messaging system. You're able to do that. So when we've had clients actually take an FME server and put it in the middle of their corporate JMS-based architecture. So you could say that FME server is like a component now you could plug in.
Yes.
And you can see sort of a hint there to the Apple.
Yeah.
So the APNS, so we can push stuff to Apple devices and Google GCM.
Yes.
So we're excited about all that. And the ... is there's many more coming. So
yes.
Yeah. And if you click on the link, you'll see, there's our FMEpedia. So if you go to FMEpedia.com, you can see we have access to
here's your article that talks about that. But you want me to go to the home?
Sure. And you can see now if you scroll up, there's right from the home page, you can get access to.
Hey, that's cool. I haven't seen that logo before.
Yeah, Yara did that. She's awesome.
Yara's amazing.
Yeah. I gave her some suggestions, and she said, well, I didn't use any of your suggestions, but what do you think about this? And I said, this is awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome indeed.
And so there's just a ton of movies there.
Right, I better go back. Where was I? That opened a new window.
Yeah.
That's cool. So the webinars would get us to that.
Yeah.
And this community answers. Let's see what people are asking today.
Yeah.
Ooh, nothing as exciting in the morning as an ellipsoid question.
Absolutely.
Actually, we didn't say anything about that.
Oh, my goodness, our whole coordinate system engine's been completely replaced with, been upgraded and much more powerful.
And there's also the blue marble one in there.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's, I'm glad we ducked into answers. To get
and there's an XML question.
Here's something about the hatch. I wonder if that's somebody who's watching Lost.
Maybe
it's not worth it. If you're watching Lost, you're worried about the hatch. It's really just phony and not worth it.
And again, this is 2 examples of articles to get you started. There's FMEpedia articles with movies. So there you go.
Mobile apps.
Yeah. So we have 2 mobile apps. They'll be up by the end of this month. We have them running internally here. It's just now we're going through the process of getting them up on on Google Play
and their respective stores.
Yeah,
I don't know. Is there a slide that talks about the fact that they're on
multiple devices?
Right. So we have an Android version and Apple one.
That's
right. And so to be clear, the reporter is one where you can send basically where you are.
Updates. That's right.
Tracking you from those things, and the alerts is something that if something happens, your phone will get a poke.
That's right. And now the alerts also has the option of knowing where you are. So you may only be interested in events that are within, say, 100 kilometers of where you are. So So try those out.
To be very clear, these apps can be useful in and of themselves, but we also will give the source code to anybody that wants to take them apart and use them in conjunction with FME Server.
Yeah. So we have a couple of clients already who have their own mobile app already.
Yeah.
And are taking these and just using the source code to add FME capabilities to their own apps.
Right. Ultimately, we use FME Server through a REST API in here.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
That is.
Yay! Okay. So, where are we at?
Wow, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So a big thing on Server 2 was how do you migrate, how do you back it up, how do you recover, all those sorts of things. And so with FME Server 2013, one of the big endeavors was to make it as easy to back up and migrate and upgrade FME Server as it is when you get a new Apple product. So
Right.
that's really was our, we used Apple sort of as the experience we wanted, and we think we've achieved that. So
Right.
once you're on FME 2013, moving forward should just literally be clicking a button and away you go. So imagine you have FME Server 2013.
Right.
Okay, and
Yeah,
what if
so I've got it.
Yeah.
So, and now, I want to just have
you
another one.
Yeah, you want to migrate a bunch of stuff to your production, or
So
maybe
this moves your workspaces and your settings and your configuration.
security, everything.
Right.
So when you log on to that new server, you won't even know that you moved to a new server.
Right.
Yeah. And then the next thing, of course, is upgrade. You get it, and then maybe you get an FME Server 2013 a service pack, or 2014 again.
Right.
You're just going to run a single button.
Or 2015 or 2016.
Or 20. Wow.
You could go in the. If we could use that.
I haven't even seen those.
I've started watching Doctor Who, and there's this sort of box you can go up back and forth in time. You could take something. You could take an FFS file that you made today, go in that box into like 2025, and then restore it to a 2025 server.
I think you should go there, steal the source code, and come back
the other way.
Yeah.
You think that's more useful than taking a server?
I really do. I really do.
Save us some work.
So yeah, and of course you can also back it up. And everything is backed up. So if you have to go back to that machine, you could. And of course, from that FFS file, you would then be able to also use that as a migration in case the server you're migrating to isn't directly connectable.
Right, or like you wanted to put on a memory key and walk over and plug it in.
Same with an upgrades and things like that.
Right.
So that's a big deal,
So-
because upgrading historically has been.
Folks, the truth of it is that we can't use this to go 2012 to 2013.
That's right. This is your last year of pain.
Yeah, it's not too bad anyway,
No,
but it's a little bit of fiddling.
but-
But moving forward, we got you covered.
Yeah. Once you get to 2013, you go to 2014, then you'll go, wow, that was painful.
Wow,
in the
that
past.
that was easy, they'll say when they go to 2014.
Sort of like now if you get a new Windows person, a new Windows computer, they're happy and sad all at the same
Yes.
time because they want to get on that new machine, but they realize
it's going to take him a couple days.
It is.
And
Yeah.
while the Mac guy, he's done in
He's
an
done
hour.
it. He
goes and has lunch,
clicks a button
basically.
or goes to bed and wakes up in the morning.
It's all done.
Yeah.
Good.
So, again, also making it easier for people to embrace FME Server. So there's an all-new developer's guide. We spent a lot of time on the documentation. The REST API has been completely overhauled. There's now security stuff in there coming in SP1 and 2. And, of course, we're continuing to work on that. And the .NET API, we did a survey, and the .NET API was actually one of the more popular APIs. And so that's been completely enhanced now and matches the Java offering.
That's
so
awesome.
So that's a big deal too. Yeah.
I feel like saying developers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could jump around and say that.
You could.
Okay, wow, we're at the end here. How are we doing for time?
We are actually, Roger's going to be proud of us.
Yes.
Because we actually have time for
Unless that clock is wrong.
I don't think
No, it's right. So that's good news.
That is good news.
We're just going to launch the
We're gonna
final
launch a
wrap-up
poll
poll here.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
My,
Maybe not. Don has ended
I
his
will-
session. Don has dropped out.
I somehow dropped out.
My
but
poll master. No, I'll just do it from here.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and launch the poll. So hopefully people are seeing that poll.
Yeah.
I don't know, Stephanie, are these? Oh yeah, people are voting. So look at that. Lots of people already got FME 2013. A third of you are real keeners in the hour that we've been talking. They've got it, installed it, or they're going to today. Well, it's dropping off. The keeners were fast.
Yep.
Very few people say they'll never get it, and that's really, never is a long time. You just really don't know that you would never get
never
it.
is.
You'd have to be fairly adamant.
Yeah.
But lots of you are going to be getting it. I know many of you work in environments where you need to get approvals and so on.
Yeah.
So that's going to take.
Now, what if somebody just wants to try it? How do they do that?
You can just go to safe.com/downloads.
Yeah.
Why don't we try that?
Yeah.
Oops, I guess I can't while the poll is
and
running.
we're always happy to give people
Show people the results here.
free evals to
Yep.
give her a try and make sure.
If you want to try the map text labeler, that's an extra cost thing, but right into sales@safe.com, we can set you up with an eval.
Yeah.
If you want to do it ahead of our fancy webinar, we can also send you a bunch of examples
Yeah.
that show you. We are going to make FMEpedia articles. Dimitri is on that now. So there you go. Glad to see many of you are going to find it worthwhile. As Don mentioned, if you just go to safe.com, let's see, there he is, the Zipster himself. And if we go there, there's all the details about it. And look at it's right there off of that page.
Isn't that fantastic?
And here you go.
Yeah.
different places you can get it. So that's great. And this actually isn't the DVD case, but I liked it.
Okay.
So there we go.
And now some questions.
So I
Okay.
think now we're going to wait for our friends Mark.
Here's Mark, the rock star.
And while they're coming and assembling in the room, hi Laura, hi Mark, glad that you're here today. You can look at these links, folks. We'll talk about them later. But Mark and Laura, what kind of questions came pouring in? And lean up to the mic and pipe up.
Thank you, Dale. Quite a few people interested in FME on the Mac.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Good.
On the
Excellent.
dark side.
Yeah. Mark is a huge Mac fan, as you
That's
can
right,
tell. He referred to it as the dark side.
Few questions earlier on about when is FME 2013 available?
I think it's right now.
Like right now, if you went to
Yeah.
that page, you could download it right now.
Yeah, and there's a nice big splash screen thing on our website today that shows you how to get there. A lot of interest in the map text labeler.
Yes.
And questions. There is a webinar scheduled for the 6th of March. So if you want to learn more about map text labeler, sign up for that webinar.
So I think if I'm just showing the folks at home there, if they go to there, somewhere down in here,
There it is.
You see
How to
it?
create beautiful
There it
cartographic
is.
labels.
so you can sign up right now. Sign up early, sign up often.
Yeah.
Couple of questions about running FME 2013 with 2012. So if you want to validate your workspaces before you totally commit, you can do that. So you just need to install 2013 in a different install directory, and you can have them running side
And
by
the
side.
shortcuts are no longer, they don't overwrite each other, right, Mark? The shortcuts in your start menu will be, they have the build number, I think, in them.
That's correct.
So-
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that means if I go over here, somewhere in my start menu, I say all programs. See? So there's no problem having a whole host of FMEs installed. And I've seen it too.
Yes. One
Yeah,
of
that's right.
our colleagues, Dan Eisminger, has many versions of FME installed. A lot of interest in the table viewer in the
Yes.
data inspector.
Yeah.
Requests for being able to sort by columns. That is coming.
Yes.
That's coming.
One thing we didn't say is that in this release cycle, we are going to be putting things like what Mark just said into the service packs. So when SP1 or 2 comes, you'll see improvements in the table viewer.
Yeah. Quite a bit of interest in the zip and accessing data through FTP.
Yes.
Can we access password protected FTP
Don't get
sites?
Don started.
Not yet, but
Yeah.
soon you'll be able to read and write to those. So that's the plan.
So what'll happen is that all the parameters boxes will get a place to log in to set your credentials.
Yeah.
But wow, there's sharp people out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's it.
Okay, those are
From
the
us.
highlights.
Yep.
Okay, great. Excellent.
Well, I think we're all done.
Yeah.
And it's early. I don't know what we should do. We can point out just a couple last things here. I should see if the contest is live. We always, or not always, but we have. Oh, and it is live. So we're going to have this contest. You can enter to basically show off your FME expertise. These questions are made up by our panel of questioners that are quirky and funny and hard-hitting.
That's right. And some of the questions in the past anyway have been very obscure. So you're
Yes.
gonna have to do your FME research.
You have to do some research, but it's a great
and
way.
if you're stumped, just send it to support@safe.com and they're happy.
And I don't think they count towards your FME certification.
Yes. Now every day, I think there's a pool of 40 or 60 questions, so you can do this every day to increase
Okay.
your chances and learn even more. So,
Okay, and every day they're different questions.
well, I think it's random.
Oh,
you could be lucky and
And
get the same exact set, but it's
probably
improbable.
not. Yeah.
It's improbable. We're hitting the road. I think all of us in this room. I don't know, Laura, are you hitting the road this year or not? You are too. All of us in this room.
Wow, all of us
Which
are
one are you
heading
going
up-
to?
Montreal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Montreal.
Montreal. You get to try your French out. Very good.
Yeah.
So
I
Laura
hope it's
looks
better than my French.
Yeah. or mine. That's why Laura's going. Thank you, Laura.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're hitting the road all over. So if you're near any of these places, or you'd like to make a road trip, and you know what, Saskatoon,
I'm going to Saskatoon.
I had a nightmare this morning. I was stuck in Saskatoon, and I was going to have to do the webinar from. Now, I'm sorry if you're from Saskatoon. I know that's not a nightmare to really be there.
No,
but if I'm
Saskatoon's
supposed
nice.
to be here, it would be a nightmare.
It would, especially today.
Yes.
You wake up and you're in Saskatoon.
That was what I
Isn't
thought.
there a song about Saskatoon?
I
There should be.
There's berries.
Yeah.
In fact, I had
the Saskatoon berry pie.
I had a Saskatoon berry crisp on Saturday. I really did. It was fantastic.
boy.
But here's more exotic locations. Mark, are you going to some of these?
Yeah, I'm going to the UK ones. Yep.
Birmingham.
Birmingham.
And Berlin. Dale and I are going to Berlin.
Yeah, we're taking Berlin.
We're taking
so
Berlin.
that's very exciting. We've been talking about doing
Berlin
FME
for at least a decade.
At least a decade. Well, I've actually wanted to go to Berlin since I was a young kid, and so finally I'm going to. And in fact, I'm dragging my family along.
Yeah,
even.
so am I. I'm dragging my family. They're not
we're-
exactly dragging is not.
Yeah,
exactly.
probably not true.
Yeah.
They're quite excited
But they
to
are
go.
going.
Yes, but that is the end of the World Tour. So instead
Yeah.
of the World Tour taking 9 months like we did last year,
Yeah.
we're wrapping her up in
Really,
about
really-
2 or 3.
Yeah.
So that's that. So please sign up. If some of you have a story you'd like to share, there's places where you can submit your talk proposals. We always like customer talks. We learn an awful lot from them.
That's right. That's right.
And then the FME channel, this little link here, fme.ly 2013 vids.
Oh, you gonna click on it?
Should I try?
Yeah, I think you should.
This does a search that kind of pulls out,
Wow.
after you get by the ads, all the various videos like Socrata and
Yeah,
performance things.
Yeah.
There's just a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Tiana has been working hard along with a few others at SAFE. Here's a whole video on the zip stuff.
Yeah. Post just 2.0. We never mentioned that.
Man, we should have.
Yeah, we should have.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
we did
next
now.
time we can.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's that. And then it's the first time ever we've done kind of a non-narrated overview video with just
Yeah.
funky music playing.
Yeah.
And we had to get a hand model to do that delete thing.
Yeah.
So you can check that out
Yeah.
as well. So I think we're done. That's about all I can babble about here, Mark. Anything else we should say?
No, just try it and give us your feedback. We're always happy to get that and tell us what we can do to make it even better.
Yes. So I think from the Crystal Gondola here in Surrey, British Columbia, this is Dale Lutz signing off.
And Don Murray saying thank you very much.
And Mark?
And Laura.
All right.
Okay.
Have a great day, everybody, and quick go download FME 2013.